Hello, welcome to Patrice's Projects. Today we will be harvesting out the garlic. You see that it's turning all yellow. I'll bring you in a little closer to show you that. But when your garlic begins to yellow like this, and you've been tending to it the same as normal, you know that it's getting ready to harvest. And I'll show you another thing to look for when your garlic is ready to harvest. The other thing you want to look for is here at the base. These were all nice and thick and healthy looking. Now they're all dry and they're beginning to shrivel up some. A couple of them, the one that was here, I harvested 2 of them. This one had fallen over, and you see this one has now fallen over too. These 3 are from not a farmer's market, a fruit stand that I had stopped at last year actually, and I saved a few of the cloves and planted them. 2 of them didn't make it, but I think maybe all of the supermarket ones did grow to some degree or another. So those are the things you look for: yellowing when they were perfectly healthy before, and then also drying at the base and beginning to shrivel, and when they fall over, that's a definite sign that it's ready. So the other thing that I did notice, the 2 that I harvested, this here is what was growing on the side of the one that seemed to be growing a whole nother bulb of garlic. So you'll see that when I pull it up. Let's start. I have let these get pretty dry because you don't want to keep watering them. I don't know if you can see it, I don't know if you can see it. Over here, it looks like it's beginning to mildew. So that is another indication you want to stop watering them and just let them do their thing, fall over and such. So I like to use a trowel when I'm digging up the root crops, whether it be, well, if the onions are sitting on top of the ground, and then you just pluck them off, because onions do tend to bulb up outside of the ground. The garlic is underneath. So if you just try to pull the top, or pull it from here, you're most likely just going to pull the top off of it, and that's not a good thing. So let's go ahead. I'll start in the middle where you can see the best, and I have a drip line down there, so I want to be kind of careful of that. Let's see, which one can you see the easiest? Probably this one. Let me bring you in closer. Well, it looks like everything just wants to be in the way. Let's see, which one can you see the easiest? Maybe this or that one. I think no, let me get this little one out of the way first. I'll try and do this left-handed for you. I guess I could have put you on the other side. But what I'm doing is I'm going a couple inches away from the base so that I don't hit the bulb, and then go nice and deep. The roots are really strong on these, I noticed. I'm going to loosen it from this side now. And I should be able to pull it up now that I've loosened below. There. Oh, this one was actually a bit bigger than I expected for the size of the plant that this one was. And again, you see, well, maybe you don't see. That's a nice big head of garlic. That was about the size of the garlic that I had taken the pieces off of and put in here. And like I said, I only used 1 garlic, and I saved and used the smaller cloves in the house. So that's a pretty nice looking garlic. It looks like this one, yeah, here it is. This one has one of those little extra ones hanging off here. And this is not 1 clove. This will be several cloves inside of here. I used one last night and thought it would be 1 large clove, and it was actually 3. So let's get this gigantic one here. I hope you can see it now. Well, I'll get this one out of the way first. Let's just do this, because that's pretty loose. Oh boy. Okay, that was all dirt. I thought that grew a second whole garlic off the side. And amazingly, this one is a much larger plant than the other one, but you see the bulb isn't quite as big. And it was also starting another garlic off the side. See that pretty color? Isn't that nice? Okay, let's get this great big one. Oh, one other thing. I was not fortunate enough to get garlic scapes where it begins to bolt, where you get a stalk coming up that has the beginnings. Oh, I'm too high. Where you get a stalk coming up from the center and it begins to make a little flower head. When that happens, I've seen online and I really wanted to try it. You cut it off so that the garlic doesn't bolt, and you chop it up into little pieces and you can saute it and eat it, and it's supposed to be really delicious. So I am curious about this big guy right here. So let's move some soil under and around that. And I don't know how big it is. I'm hoping it's as big as it indicates. That feels pretty loose. Oh yeah. Look at the size of that. Take that part off. That is huge. And what you want to do after you harvest is I'm going to lay them out in a shady area and let them air dry and let the outer part harden. I'm not going to wash them off. I'm going to just let them dry, and then whatever's loose, I'll remove that, remove the stems. And because this is not, this is a soft neck, there's also a hard neck where it's got this hard center area. But with these, after they dry for a few days, you can braid them and hang them that way. And I'm sure most of you have probably seen that somewhere online or in pictures or in farmers markets. But with the softer green, I have cut some of this up and used it in cooking, and it tastes like a mild garlic. So I'm going to be cutting some of these off and saving it for eating. So I'm going to go ahead and finish harvesting this out. This one here, though, let's go over here. I had tried to remove. This one came up with 3 separate plants. So apparently the small one that I put here was, or the one that I put here was actually 3 smalls and not 1 large. So one of them I did try to remove, and the top just broke off. So let's go ahead and harvest that one real quick before I turn the camera off and finish the harvest, because I'm sure you don't want to watch me dig up every single garlic here. Now that's deep. I'm not even hearing the roots there. There we go. I'm going to take them both at the same time. So, but there might be one more hidden down in there. I don't feel it. Oh, I wonder what happened. So here you see 2 separate garlic bulbs, and because they grew together, neither one got real big, especially the smaller one, but it's still plenty edible. But that one is a little bit smaller than the garlic that I planted in the ground, so I'm happy with that. Between the 2 of them, that's a pretty big garlic. And I am going to check one more time to make sure that there is not another hidden down in there from the one that I broke off. I don't feel any. Oh, I found it. It's tiny. There it is. I hope it's okay to eat. I'll check on that tonight. So we'll set that aside. Okay, I'll finish this harvest and then we'll see what I end up with. Here's an interesting one. These 2 were, it looked like 2 plants about this far apart. Apparently, this one was coming up right against the side. Apparently one of my garlics didn't grow, but 2, and this one is one of the bigger ones, came from 1 clove. And they're both of good size. Let's check them out. I'm going to separate them now. I was wondering why the root system was so big when I was pulling this one up, actually. But look at that. I got a nice head here. And this looked like just 1 clove that I put in there. And then this one is really big. And this has one of those side ones. So this is another garlic over here. Head of garlic as well, and so when it dries I'll probably be able to remove that and use that one sooner and let the big part, this is huge. So, just wanted to show you that. I thought this was two separate plants in, separate spots that just came up that way. Okay, now I'm really going to finish and then show you. Here's the garlic haul. These, all the way up to here, these are the two I had previously harvested, so they've been drying for about 5 or 6 days. We had wind the day after I harvested those, so I couldn't record. Actually, we had wind for like 3 days, and so those have been sitting around drying for maybe 5 days. These three are from the other garlic that I had saved some cloves from that I had gotten at a fruit stand. Gosh, I think it was on the other side of Sacramento. Let me focus in better. There you go. And these ones are just really pretty. I like how they look. But the funny thing is, the heads of garlic that I had gotten these from were bigger. They were more like this big one here. Or, let's see, where's the biggest one? Maybe even this. So, but they are prettier. And these have a really strong flavor, at least the plant that the heads that I got them from had a really strong flavor that I liked a lot. That's why I saved them. And these all came from a garlic that was about the size of this. Here's the one that I had taken a piece off of and discovered it wasn't just one clove, it was 3 cloves from one of those little things that hang off the side like that there. So, not a bad haul. So, this one here is the smallest, and that was that side one from one of the others where it had 2 connected to each other. And let's see, is that my biggest? Or this one is definitely more than a handful, and it's got one of those ones that's coming up the side, so it's actually 2, but came definitely from 1 clove. So, not a bad haul at all. So, by purchasing, and it was not an organic garlic. It was just one that you buy cheaply in the grocery store. I got all of that, and then those 3 were from the other. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If I counted right, from 1. What I'm going to do is just lay them out in a shaded area, and here are the 2 that I've been drying, and I can remove all that. And see, once they're beginning to dry, you can push off this outer part so that you can store them a little more clean than that. But I'm going to let these dry more before cleaning them up the rest of the way, because I don't want to damage the skin, the outer skin, because that's what's going to help protect it, and so you can store it long term. And when you store it long term, like I said, you can either braid it or just keep it in a dry, cool area out of the sun, and they'll keep for a long time. I'm hoping that mine do keep very well, because I don't use a lot of fresh. I do, I guess. Mostly I use jarred because it's convenience, but now that I've got all this garlic, I think I'll be using a lot of fresh and giving a little bit to my sister. I don't know if any of you noticed, but I'm wearing a Keeping It Dutch shirt. This is a really soft, well-made shirt. Fits a little bit snug, so if you get one from his channel, you might want to go 1 size up. I'm between a medium and a large, so I went with large. And I could have gone extra large, but I think, the large is fine. I don't mind it a bit snug. So, anyway, thanks for joining me in my garlic harvest. I really do appreciate it. And I hope this inspires you to go ahead and try growing some garlic. Like I said, this is my first time, and I've got a lot. This is all from 1 head of garlic right here. And then those other 3. So it's easy to do, and if you plant it in the fall like I did, you can really get some good sized heads of garlic. I'm going to go and put these away. and I'll see you on the next video. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, or just want to say hi, go ahead and put that in the comments down below. Love reading your comments, and I respond as soon as possible. I'll see you next time. Bye. Okay, now to get them in the shade.